Hey guys, hello and welcome to another stream with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this beautiful Tuesday. This is the second stream in our new Let's Talk About series, so where we'll pick a topic each week that we'll cover. Last week we talked about Pi Network and actually went quite over time, so it's kind of like a learning experience. These streams are supposed to be limited to 30 minutes. So we'll try to manage that today. One thing we learned from last week is that the chat can become quite overwhelming at times, if or depending on how many people are tuning in. And so therefore either I or Irina will, if needed, enable slow mode, or if it really goes out of hand, which I honestly don't expect for today's stream, we would switch to a subscribers only chat so that only people that are subscribed to the YouTube channel can actually ask questions. So as mentioned, today's stream is about high dollar. If you're looking for content about Pi Network, I actually recommend that you just go to the channel and check last week's streams. We covered a lot of questions there and makes the most sense. If you're ever curious about high dollars and you have questions about high dollars, then obviously stick around, ask your questions, and I will do my best to answer them. If you don't have a high dollar account yet, as you can see, the current highlighted message, which is also the pinned message in the chat, contains the sign up link for high dollar. And what else is there? We also have a poll in the chat that asks if you are already using high dollar, if you have an account, or if you don't. Actually should have asked if you unlocked your rewards or not, but yeah, now we have that poll. So far the majority actually has a high dollar account, which is, yeah, like actually expected it more like 50-50 considering how high dollar developed. And yeah, now that said, have to somehow scroll up in the chat a little bit. Let's start here. So yeah, hi everyone again. So hi Random, hi Al Mustafa, hi Fuad, hi General, hi Saman, hi Daris, yeah, the last name I cannot pronounce. So yeah, great that you're all here. Sadly, the Elgato Stream Deck that I'm usually using is still broken, so didn't work in the last stream, and I haven't had time to look into the issue or get a new one, which means that transitions between this view or like switching to our secondary camera and or switching to share my desktop is not going to be as fluent because I have to do it manually in OBS instead of just pushing a button, but I think that's not going to be an issue. Hi Ruben, great to have you here. Let's get started, and I'm going to start with the probably biggest question that most people are asking. That's actually also one of the easier questions to answer when you think about it. Might need to, actually don't need to, but why is the price of high dollars falling? So for that, or actually I might, so let's open up CoinMarketCap on the other screen, and once I have that, I will actually share it with you guys. So CoinMarketCap, and got it. Block high. So just 1 second, bear with me, don't run away. And now I have to, as said, that's the point, my Stream Deck is broken, so I have to do this manually. So yeah, if we look at the price of high dollar, and right now it's at 5 cents per high, and we look at all time, then we can see that initially we basically were at $1, and then we had an increase to almost $1.50, so $1.39 or 40 or something, which obviously was quite impressive. And the reason for the initial growth, in my opinion at least, is or was, so like again switching here. So the reason for the initial growth is or was, like in the white paper it's outlined, and in the app you can also see it, that when you want to buy high dollar, it shows you can buy with a 1-year lockup and with a 4-year lockup. And if you check right now, the 1-year lockup price is going to be somewhere around, I don't know, 4 cents or 3 cents something. And the 4-year lockup price is going to be like 40 cents or so, Because in the white paper, High initially planned, okay, when we have until we reach 1,000 users, people can buy High for 1 cent, and when we have then till 10,000 users, they can buy it for, I don't know, 3 cents, and when we have 100,000 users, they can buy it for that amount. And so with more users, the price increased until High eventually got listed on, I think the first one was PancakeSwap. So, and with that, the price was not set anymore by High themselves in the app, but actually was then influenced on the market. So that's why initially we saw the price rally up, because it was increased by High themselves with growing user numbers. And then obviously when it got listed on Uniswap, the hype continued for some time. And then obviously some people that might have been among the first 1,000 users, first 10,000 users, first 100,000 users, that might have bought High for, I don't know, like even if they bought it for 40 cents, and they might have bought it without lockup or with a 1-year lockup or 4-year lockup and already unlocked some of it. Some of those people started to take profits, to sell the High for a profit, because it was at $1.40 and they bought it for half of that or even less than half. So of course then people started selling, which started to lead to the decline. Now that, however, brings us now to an interesting issue and kind of like a benefit as well, depending on how you look at it. And if we go back to, where is it? So screen sharing here. We can see that High is consistently getting lower in value, yeah, and which is kind of like frustrating to watch. It doesn't matter if you hold 100 High or 100,000 High. It just, it just is like frustrating to watch. Yeah, like with every cryptocurrency, when you see it's declining in value. Yeah, like I don't know, Planet Watch, pretty much everything on the market. Although with High, it's a little different because we can see a relative steady decline. Yeah, which makes it a little bit unique. But the answer to that is, or why that's happening, is actually quite easy, and it's in the white paper. Actually can open the white paper, or I don't have to open a new tab. We actually already have High open here. So about white paper, open a new tab and read the white paper. And now with the white paper, let's search for incentive. A little bit harder for me because I'm a little bit further away from the screen, but there we go. Yeah. So can remove the search. Not now. And just need to find that stupid scroll bar and scroll a little bit further down. Yeah. So this part here. So the total and maximum supply. So one thing that happened is, first of all, High obviously has a maximum supply, and they split it up like this. And the important part here is the launch incentives and distribution part. Yeah. And as you can see here, I don't see the number fully. I would have to go closer, but I think it's 27 point something or 28% of the entire supply are meant for those incentives, and that includes the 1-year and 4-year lockup. Yeah, that means whenever somebody buys High in the app, they buy from the overall supply. They don't buy on the open market. Yeah. So which means even if I would take $1 million, which I don't have, to buy High in the app, it would not change the price. The value would not increase, because it happens in the app and I'm basically buying it from High.com. So they have they basically created the entire supply and they started distributing it. So everybody that buys right now obviously does it in the app, yeah, because if they buy in the app, they get like 30% discount on the price with the 1-year lockup, which obviously makes more sense than buying on the market, unless you want to trade and speculate. So for everybody that thinks about, okay, I'm going to get the 1,000 High because I want to have this membership tier, it just makes sense to buy it with lockup, yeah, which means that for everybody that has access to the High app, so and can buy High in the app, it does not make any sense to buy on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. Yeah, because there they would pay 30% more. So as a result, the majority of people that is buying buys in the app, which again has no impact on the price right now. Yeah. On the other hand, everybody that wants to sell, because right now there is no sell option in the app. You cannot sell your High in the app directly. You have to withdraw them to your wallet and then sell them on either PancakeSwap, Uniswap, or on xt.com, or was it xt.com? So on the exchanges that currently support High, yeah? Which means everybody that sells has an impact on the price, because the selling happens on the open market, whereas only a small portion of users, for example, people in the US, they currently cannot buy or stake High within the app. So if they wanted to buy high already, they have to do it on PancakeSwap, Uniswap on the exchange. But that's like a smaller number of users, because everybody in Europe, most people in most Asian countries and so on, they can just buy in the app with a discount, but every time they want to sell, they do it on the open market. Yeah. So I know that went now a little bit longer. And to be fair, I might be completely wrong with that, but that's my logical explanation why the price of high keeps falling. And in my opinion, there are two scenarios or events that are important. The first one is, there's one event that's going to be important, and that is reaching those 27.2% or 28.2. Again, I cannot read it from here because the screen is like this small and that far away, whatever. Or I'm getting old and blind, yeah. And so once we use up all that launch incentives and distribution supply, there will be no more discount in the app for buying. There might still be an option that you can buy at market price, and ideally then high will actually execute the trade on the market, yeah. But the bigger point is that people will then, all transactions should then actually also be reflected on the market, so actually happen on the market and affect the price. So reaching that will be a huge milestone, because that's when people can no longer buy at the discount. I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know, if let's say buy high is at, I don't know, 5 cents right now, and I can buy it at 3 cents, and I buy for a huge amount of money, so that even with the 1 year lockup already, I don't know, tomorrow I get $1,000 worth of high unlocked, yeah. And then I could go instantly withdraw them, go to Uniswap and sell them, and I would technically have a 30% profit, because I bought it for 30% less. So I bought it for, I don't know, what's that then? 3 cents 50 or 3.5 cents, and I can still sell it for 5 cents, yeah? And if I do that with a big enough amount of money, even with the yearly discount, it would still be profitable, but I would be contributing to drive the price down. So the moment the incentive pool is used up, so those 27 or roughly 1/4 of the supply, is the moment where, in my opinion, the price will then slowly start actually to stabilize and increase. It's one of the moments in quotes, but that's a crucial moment, yeah. Although we have to consider, even when this pool is used up, there are still people that bought and have still their 1 year lockup going on, yeah. And if the price goes up, and again, let's say again, right now the price is at 5 cents, you bought at 3.5 cents, and the incentive pool is used up, nobody else can buy at a discount anymore, so they buy on the market, and the price increases to whatever, 5 or 6 cents, 7 cents, 10 cents, but you already have like a little bit of your high unlock that you bought for 350, so you might be tempted, hey, I can get 3 times my money from what I've already unlocked, so you might be tempted to sell that. So worst case scenario, once that incentive pool is used up, it might, in my opinion, take maximum still a year until basically all those 1 year discount purchases are actually unlocked fully, before we see the true movement in the right direction. Yeah, so that's one, and in my opinion, the major reason for the behavior of high, for the price behavior. Yeah. Now, with the other parts that are important there and that will affect that, we actually can already move on to one of the next questions. And Ruben asks, will the high card be the best crypto card in the world? I'm actually gonna switch quickly here again. Sorry that it's like not as smooth as it should be. So here you can see the question, will the high card be the best crypto card in the world? And if they deliver what they currently are showing and advertising, then yes, then it will be without peer. So I personally, I've had the crypto cards. So from crypto.com, I have a Binance card, I have the card from Coinbase, the card from I think Nexus, and I have the card from Plutus. And while crypto.com had a great offer initially, what again, screen sharing, what High is basically planning, sorry for the background noise, my neighbors are renovating, so in case you hear that, where's the scroll bar here? No scroll bar. Okay, keyboard, does that work? Okay, keyboard. No, that's just pausing, yeah, like accept. Okay, spacebar works, yeah. Okay, we are still on the main page here. Somewhere I think I already opened the cards. Here we have cards, yeah. So, I mean, it's already insane that they offer up to 10% cashback. Why do I not have a scroll bar? Like, seriously. Can I? Okay, here my cursors work, okay. So, up to 10% cashback is obviously insane. But considering the supply that's available and that the cashback will also come from the supply, it will definitely work for a period of time. It might not be sustainable forever, but it definitely will work for some period of time. And just like with so many other things, people that are early will benefit more, and people later will then get probably not as great or as nice conditions. Yeah, in terms of benefits, they basically are also, at least what is announced, is better than what others have. So if we consider that with, I have to look it up real quick. So where do we have the membership tiers? Memberships, let's open that real quick. So for 1,000 high, which right now would be $5, you become high black member. So for a $5 investment, you can already choose one perk, which will be something like getting Blinkist for free, or Spotify for free, or masterclass.com, or Netflix, or something like that. And the higher you go, the more perks you get. Now, if you compare that, Bluetooth would be similar, but although Bluetooth has like roughly 20 weeks waiting times on their cards right now, the cashback at most goes to 8% and so on, and it's right now only on the Ethereum blockchain and so on. So like there are a lot of downsides, and it doesn't integrate that well, like the whole high app. So I think like that alone, giving you the flexibility to pick, okay, if we go with high silver, we would need 10,000 high, so that would be $50 if I got it right now, not considering the 1 year lockup discount, so it would actually be probably $35. And with that, you can already pick 5 perks. So you could probably, I mean, we will see which lifestyle services they actually bring, but I would expect that it will allow you to get your Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, I don't know what else you're using, Spotify, and something else for free. So you pay it, but then you get it instantly back refunded in high, yeah, the same value. So basically it's like, instead of paying for your 5 subscriptions, it's like as if you would save money in crypto every month. So whatever, if those 5 subscriptions are $50, you can look at it as if you would save $50 into crypto every month, and you get the subscriptions for free on top of that, yeah. And yeah, like, I mean, it's nice that they go with precious metals, so that the cards will be not just random cards on only metal, but yeah, like more. And in terms of the other benefits, yeah, like obviously cashback is nice, perks are nice. And I think, assuming they manage to launch it like this without any changes happening that come in between, it will definitely be the best card on the market. It might not be forever the best card on the market, but it will be for a reasonable time. So I don't think that any of the competitors will try to beat their offer. And for high, depending on how many users there are and how fast people basically consume high with cashback and so on, yeah, like sooner or later there might be like reductions, but considering right now the best market or the best offer on the market is 8% cashback, and high plans to offer up to 10%, I think, yeah, it will be the best offer on the market. What's very important here is it's also a crucial aspect that will help with the price, because right now a lot of users that left crypto.com because they nerfed their offers so much that it's just doesn't make any sense anymore for most people. They went to Bluetooth, and that's why Bluetooth has like huge growth and 20 weeks waiting time for their cards. And once High launches that, it actually is much better than what Bluetooth has to offer, which means all the European users from Bluetooth, which are all Bluetooth users because it's available in Europe and they're only just launching in the US, will actually most likely switch to High. Yeah. And with that, it means that a lot of people will show up and will invest whatever, $50, $500, $5,000, and some of them will go further. I mean, maybe I did my math wrong, so that's $50,000, sorry, and that's $500,000. And you might say $500,000, nobody will invest that. But if you look at crypto.com, their highest tier card actually required a $400,000 staking, and there are quite a few users that went that way. So definitely going in that direction. Yeah. So again, like, yeah, like I will do my best to answer questions shorter so we don't escalate too much in time. Yeah. Which tier 1 exchange are you thinking High will be listed on? Honestly, no idea. Like, not much point in speculating about it. And yeah. Ruben, yeah, cannot highlight the message, but I saw that you asked how many highs I have. Right now I have 1.3 million, and Irina has, I think, 500 or 600,000. But we have like a lot of it is, I think 800,000 are still in the vault and slowly unlock, and the rest is actually staked, which is something I also wanted to cover in this video. Yeah. Have you seen any red flags, any kind from high that worries you? What worries me is that their offer is really great, to be honest. It's kind of like it almost gets into the too good to be true category. And I'm like gonna be perfectly honest here, I'm really waiting for them to launch the cards. The moment they launch the cards is like a huge proof of everything is in order, no need to worry about your money. Yeah, like that's like a huge thing. Although even without the cards, they already have so many things going for them, you know. Like usually if it were a scam, then people try to stay anonymous and the owners are not running around and say, hey, that's my name and that's where I worked before and that's where I live and so on. So combine that with that usually scam companies are incorporated in some foreign countries, so or like like third world countries in quotes, yeah, like somewhere outside, where goes through the effort to have one of their entities also registered in Europe, where it would be easier to sue the company. I know crypto is not regulated and so on, but I mean fraud and regular losses are different things. So that's an additional thing. Then they constantly are working towards getting more certifications and licenses. So that's another thing that proves or is solid evidence that it's actually a legitimate business. Yeah. And then obviously their banking partnership that allows users now in Europe at least, and gold members outside of Europe, to have IBAN bank accounts. It's also like a bank will not just start working with anyone, but there has to be, I mean, they check that everything is in order, or they're supposed to check at least, and required by law because of money laundering regulations and so on. So there are a lot of signs that it's definitely legit and serious and so on. But to be fair, I also have my moments where I'm like, that's just like, I mean, up to 10% cashback, that's crazy. How can that be true? Yeah. But again, then looking at the numbers, the white paper, the supply, all the certifications that they have, their company structure, the transparency that they're offering, it's just like all the facts points to, in my opinion, all the facts point towards 100% legit. And there's just like on occasion, like the small worry that I have with other investments as well. So it's like, yeah. But I think a crucial point will be like the issuance of the card. So I mean, the launch of the IBAN bank accounts is already a crucial or a huge point, because it obviously means that they are working with banks and so on, and therefore should have certain verifications, or not verifications, but certifications, and like third parties that the bank basically checking is everything working. So no real red flags, to be honest. Yeah, like I get that some people, or a lot of people, are actually pissed and were screaming scam because High Dollar changed the way the rewards worked. But like, to be fair, I initially was one of the people that screamed the most, although not publicly, or like in the high bias chat and so on and blah blah blah. But I also thought it through. I mean, after initially learning, okay, now I have to stake something, and thought it through and realized it's actually what they did just made sense. Otherwise, high would not be at 5 cents now, but basically at 1 or half a cent or even less, because all those users that were not willing to put up 100 high, which at some point required like $40 investment and now would be a $5 investment, yeah, to unlock, I don't know, a couple hundred high in rewards, all those people would have just sold the first chance they got. So so for me personally, no real red flags, just the occasional worry, because right now our portfolio is very, very centered on high, to be honest. Yeah, because crypto.com screwed up the rewards. So I sold all our CRO holdings at around 30 cents. Now CRO is around 12 or so, and didn't have any other project that I really believed in at the time to put the money in, and that's why a lot of that went into high as well. So I'm not sure right now. I would need to look it up, but I think our investment in high is like, I don't know, like north of $10,000, because of moving funds from crypto.com and so on. And so that's why here and there it's the occasional worry. Yeah. But in general, like with high and with other projects, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. So while it would suck if high somehow blows up or whatever, it would definitely suck, yeah. But it wouldn't mean that we couldn't pay our rent or couldn't pay for fruit or groceries or stuff like that, so never do that, yeah. Anyway, so Al Mustafa 5K right now. Well, if you add another, again, if I got it right, $50, then you would reach the silver requirement, the silver membership tier, yeah, which is quite impressive. Blah blah blah. What has more than one? Wait, what? Did you share anywhere which level you're on? I didn't see that message. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, so has more than 100,000, blah, blah. Can you show us how to buy high dollar on Binance? No, I cannot because I'm not logged in on Binance here. And I'm honestly like, I should have prepared better because I didn't expect you guys are prepared. But let's check real quick since we have CoinMarketCap open. I know that high is listed on the Chinese exchange xt.com or ct.com. Where's the markets tab? Where did you go? There are markets. I don't think it's on Binance. Yeah, Bitmart, Bitfinex, there we go. Yeah, so you cannot buy it on Binance because it is not on Binance. So you have to either use decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap or Uniswap, where you can then use BUSD or USDC to exchange them into high, or you can, as you can see, buy it on Bitfinex or Bitmart. Those and ZT, that was the Chinese exchange, yeah. So those three exchanges currently support it. Or if you are outside of the US, so if you're not in a country where it's currently simply due to regulations not possible, you can just log into your high account and buy directly in the app, either with your credit card, or if you use the deposit function, you can basically just wire money there and then use it, or you can deposit crypto and then exchange that for high, yeah. Blah blah blah. Is it necessary to purchase high to unlock free mining high? I have left high as it is in the wallet. If you have rewards, then it's necessary. If you want to unlock them, you have to stake at least 100 high. I made a video about that, so that talks about the whole changes and what you need to stake and so on. But basically right now it would mean that you have to buy, if you consider the 1 year discount, like $3.50 worth of high with a 1 year lockup. And then if you have 100 high at the last of the month, then on the first of the next month, it would then unlock 100 high from your pending rewards, from your active rewards. So basically from referrals that passed KYC and so on. Other than that, to get further daily rewards, actually when you press the claim rewards button, it tells you whichever thing you're missing to get them right now. To be fair, the changes that High made to the reward system and so on, while they were necessary, I completely understand that. They also made it super, or like made High or promoting High way less lucrative, because now a new user, if he doesn't invite other people and deposit money and buy some high and so on, only can get 7 high in quotes for free by answering 7 or not even for free, because it still requires the staking. So it's not as attractive anymore to promote as it used to be. And for you should basically just check in your account, like if you have anything in your rewards wallet, and you can see that in the web app. So in the web wallet, you can see it best. Or in the Telegram chatbot, there you see it split up between active high and inactive high in your rewards, because you can only unlock the active rewards. Yeah, so got that. If I were you, I would buy to activate my rewards. Yeah, exactly. So especially if we think about the cards. So if you believe in high, or if you're looking forward to some of the features that they offer, then it's, in my opinion, a no-brainer. Yeah, especially at the current price. Even if the price drops a little further, it's anyway not a big issue. You know, like if you get high because you want to have the debit cards in the future to get, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% cash back, then you anyway would keep those high so you can keep the cashback benefit. And then through your cashback, either you keep hodling high and accumulate more, or you would sell it always instantly, like I do with Bluetooth, for example, to actually get fiat. So I think it depends. Like, I think the question with high is like that I would ask myself, or I asked myself before, is like, what kind of benefits do I want to unlock? And that's the amount of high I'm aiming for. And the decision if I then keep holding the high that I get on top, or if I will eventually sell them, is a different topic. Yeah. High had announced to list on one of the big exchanges. One of the co-founders shared, I think in the buyers chat or just in the creators chat, I'm not sure in which one, but basically there were some technical issues with the implementation, but we didn't get any details, to be honest. They're also like waiting for, or like rooting for that to happen. I think it's an issue that they realized, when they released their updated white paper this year, they had very, very accurate, in quotes, like deadlines. So like first quarter we do this, second quarter we do that, third quarter we do that, and now some of those things take a little bit longer, or took a little bit longer. So like whatever, like launching high games takes a week longer than planned, and then launching the IBAN accounts takes a week longer, and then suddenly you're playing catch up with your roadmap and so on. And I think it's right now a very, very crucial time, because there, as I said, like I mentioned earlier, so the crucial point right now is that High doesn't have a lot of use cases. Because right now, you can use it as your wallet, but it's not a decentralized wallet. So you deposit your funds there and have your crypto there. And you can stake it to get interest. And High offers a relatively high amount of interest, which on one hand is nice, but on the other hand, right now also backfires a little bit. Because we've seen, Voyager and BlockFi and Nexus. No, Nexus is still going or not. Like, it's hard to keep track of all those platforms. But we've seen a bunch of platforms go broke, disable withdrawals for their users and so on, and other platforms reducing their rewards, so that it also right now scares away some users, I can imagine, when they see the rates that High is offering, because they don't believe that it's possible, because they just saw that another platform went broke. And if we consider that High has a huge supply that they can still use to some extent and so on, I think it's actually that eventually the rewards and staking rewards will be reduced in some aspects, but it's something I'm not personally worried about. And as far as the exchange listing goes, I think it's just a point of like working out details. I don't know what contracts they are behind to get your crypto, when you're a project like High, actually listed properly, and probably some technical difficulties in some way, maybe on the exchange end, maybe on High's end. Hard to say. I would expect it still to happen, but to be fair, I mean, even if High would to be listed tomorrow on Binance, we're still lacking the use case. You can trade in High, but you cannot trade High dollars. So in the High app, you currently cannot sell High dollars. You can trade your Bitcoin, your BUSD, and other stuff. So it's still lacking the use case, and the use case comes with, obviously, with the cards, the IBAN accounts, but they also only make sense when you have the card, more or less, or if you don't have a proper bank account, or if your regular bank account charges you a monthly fee. And that also only makes sense. I didn't check this week, but when they first launched the IBAN accounts on the first day, the withdrawals didn't work instantaneously, and you could only withdraw to another bank account that is in your name. So it was not really on the first day. On the first day, it was not really a real bank account, because I couldn't have used it to wire my rent to my landlord, for example. I think by now that's possible, but again, I haven't checked in the last couple of days, so I'm not 100% sure about that. But so big problem right now, there's still no use case. So with the cards, there will be the first use case. People will buy High to stake it, so they get the benefits from the cards, which will lock up a huge amount of the supply, because more and more people will do that. Then some people will obviously sell their cash back High dollar to get some fiat back. Other people will start to collect their cash back High dollars to reach the next membership tier, or because they believe in the project and that the price will increase. Once the trading is better integrated, and once especially you can also trade High in the High app, so you can sell and buy it, then obviously that will also be better, especially then it comes down to the fees, obviously. So how much you pay in spread when you buy or sell certain cryptos. And yeah, so right now a listing, while it's nice and great news, if they would get listed on, let's say, Binance, again, I don't know where they will get listed and how fast it will happen. It wouldn't really do much. It just means it makes it easier for users, gives them more options where they can buy and sell high dollars. But if there is no use case, then it's kind of like it's all about just speculating. Okay, I'm going to buy high dollars to sell them at a higher price. But as we covered very early in today's live, the higher price will likely only happen once we use up the portion of the supply that is meant for incentives, so for the discounted purchases, and or once the high cards launch and we'll have a huge influx of users that will buy high and stake a lot of it to get 5, 7, 8% cashback or 10% cashback. Yeah. So yeah, hope that answers the question as good as possible. So yeah, not my phone, but the mouse. Which benefits do you think high members will gain after develop of high blockchain? Yeah, that depends. I mean, like pretty much every project out there is, or not every project, but so many projects out there developing their own blockchain. I mean, Crypto.com did the same with their first Crypto.com chain, then Crypto.org, and now it's Cosmos, and so on. And all of them try to revolutionize it in terms of how many transactions per second are possible and how low the transaction fees are. And High.com goes like a similar way than Crypto.com. So they develop their own blockchain and simultaneously they come up with High Pay. So, which sadly, in my opinion, the first partner they used to integrate High Pay at as a test is an online casino. I wish they would have picked a different partner, but I also understand why they picked a casino. Because gambling companies and so on usually have trouble finding or have a harder time finding cheap or payment providers that don't charge them a lot of fees, because there's also a lot of fraud going on. So if somebody has stolen credit cards, they very often try to deposit on casinos and stuff like that. So anyway, they picked a casino for High Pay, and if High Pay is great and it has like low fees and so on, well, then they could technically develop for example, a Shopify plugin, which would then mean that merchants on Shopify, which are a lot, could then relatively easy open their High Pay account and suddenly accept cryptocurrency payments, which would then be processed by High, and the merchant gets instantly a fiat amount and so on, but where fees and so on are likely paid with high dollars, and therefore, there would be a utilization and so on. So, yeah, like if High blockchain will be great or not, it will probably be better and faster or support more transactions than, Ethereum or Bitcoin and so on. But in the end, it's just a little bit more of a branding thing, and obviously trying to improve the technology there. But as said, there is a lot of projects out there that work on their own blockchain and try to push the limits as far as transactions per second go. And with that, the more transactions are possible per second, the lower the fees get, because you very rarely end up with a backlog of transactions where then people pay higher fees to jump the queue to get the transactions processed faster and so on. But I think there we'll have to wait and see more development. And I think there a crucial point will be what's planned for 2023 or the end of 2023, but might be a little bit later, because as said, like one thing gets a little delayed and the next thing and so on. But that's the decentralization, where basically the more High you hold, the more you can vote on important decisions about High itself. Moving on, why are withdrawals from High taking time? Don't you think people will not buy and store their High in the app rather than decentral? Well, it depends on, you can store it in your decentral, in MetaMask, for example, in your wallet there, and you can link that wallet so it still counts for your membership tier if you have it staked in the Giga or Mega pools and so on, which I personally have. And it's up to everyone, but I'm quickly gonna share that. Why they take time? I mean, one of the things is like obviously potential frauds, money laundering, and so on. So that's obviously a usual argument to not instantly approve transactions automatically, but to be able to check them. In my experience, if I withdraw during the week, I usually withdraw on Thursdays around 3 p.m. or so, or noon, and those withdrawals usually are processed within like 10 or 15 minutes, so fast enough. Sometimes when I withdraw on Friday or even on the weekend, then suddenly, or sometimes then it takes until next week, Tuesday, so 2 business days until I get my withdrawal. So the way I see it, like during the week, it goes really, really fast. But then over the weekend, somehow probably they have a queue. And then depending on where my transaction is in that queue, then suddenly it can take till Tuesday till I get the withdrawal. But so far, I've always gotten it. The biggest amount that I withdrew was, I think, $8,000 or $9,000 in one withdrawal worth of high dollars. Never any issues, so yeah. And as mentioned, I personally withdraw because I stake a lot in the Gigapool. And right now I'm actually always staking into the Megapool because the Megapool expires on the 20th of December. The APY, so the interest right now, I mean, that's changing every day and so on with more people putting money in and so on. But right now it's still 250%, 254 if it would be staked for an entire year, but still, compared to even if you're on a higher membership tier and you stake your high earn in the app, you only in quotes get 52% interest, whereas here again the interest for a year would be 254%. So until the 20th of December, it still should be 100% interest or so. So basically doubling your investment. And on the 20th of December, you can then withdraw the pool tokens and withdraw, if you want to, the liquidity from from PancakeSwap, or you could then go and put the liquidity tokens in the Gigapool again, because that one runs longer, and lock it again for another year, basically. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. One has to consider their impermanent loss. So because when you stake in the pool, you have to put in half high, half BUSD. And depending on the price of high, it changes how much of that money is high and how much of that is BUSD. So it's also possible, depending on how the price of high develops and so on, that you get more high out of it, but theoretically possible, I have to say that, but it's worth less dollars than what you put in total and so on, yeah. However, considering how high the interest is with still, way beyond 200%, it's, in my opinion, highly unlikely. But again, that's just my opinion. You have to, as always, do your own research and so on, yeah, so you know that. Going back here, again, we are already in huge overtime. Okay, so anyway, do you think people will not buy? We had that, yeah. What do you think about high protocol? Does that make the coin deflationary? That's a question I actually would have to read up a little bit on to answer that for you, because I didn't dive too much into their high chain, high protocol, what they plan to do. What I can throw in here is that the bigger plan of high is, as said, to give the overall control to users, like I said, like roughly in a year, 1.5 years, maybe it takes 2 years, so that on all big decisions actually users can vote and probably will also be able to make proposals and so on. So at least that's where I think it's going based on the white paper, which means the user base would also be able to, for example, vote on if there should be more supply issued, or if something should get burned and blah, blah, blah. So there's still a lot of things that are like not 100% certain, but on top of that, the fact that the plan is not like with crypto.com, we become a $1 billion company and with marketing deals for hundreds of millions of dollars. But the plan actually is, okay, we build a company, but then we turn it into a decentralized organization where the amount of high you hold actually reflects on how many, in quotes, voting rights you have. I'm sure it will not be as straightforward, as simple as that, because regulations and so on, yeah. But I'm sure we'll get to see an interesting approach, and with that we'll actually then also be able to change a lot of what we right now consider might happen, might not happen, yeah. Anyway, so like thankfully it's not as many messages as last week during our Pi stream. A bit late, yeah. Hugs from Germany, yeah. Back to Romania. Since high is burning inactive rewards and considering majority never staked, no KYC, how do you see this affecting high supply? I don't have the numbers, or I don't recall the numbers from the top of my head, but considering the total supply versus how much got burned and so on, I don't think it's that that much, yeah, like so in perspective. But obviously every high that gets burned means that overall it will have a positive impact on the price. But overall the price currently is going like down, as we covered in the beginning of the stream why it's going down. So the incentive portion of the total supply plus only sale or only selling right now affects the price, whereas most purchases happen in the app, away from the market and so on. So yeah, but yeah. And I think with that, we've got it. Sophie is asking if we can talk about Pi Network in another video. I actually covered it in last week in the live, so you should check out just go to the channel and there go to, I think, videos or uploads, and there's then either it's listed in the recent videos or it's a separate tab or button for lives, and then it should be the last or second to last, because we also had the gaming stream last week on Thursday. And yeah, so there you should get most of the answers. Besides that, we will again have a pool in the community tab that is going to decide what we'll talk about next week, so which topic we cover. And that pool, however, I can already point that out, is for our members, so it's for people that actually actively support the channel. They can affect the most what we're gonna talk about next week. And yeah, I think that's it for today. So overall, as far as high goes, so like to sum this up, or my opinion about it, I'm like also impatient. I want them to launch the cards. I really want to get rid of my Bluetooth card and have the high card. I don't care that much if it's, I mean, it's kind of like nice that it's going to be of like nice metal and so on, but I'm anyway going to use it through Curve, and I'm going to use it through Apple Pay and so on. But I want to have the card because it's like in my opinion, the last I don't know, like tip of the iceberg or so, or the last, I don't know, the kind of like the last thing to all those people that were running around or are still running around and calling high a scam, to really prove them, there you go, you missed out. Yeah. And yeah, obviously, I mean, we shouldn't forget, I mean, while I'm super bullish on high, and I think especially once the incentive pool is used up, which should happen relatively fast once the card launches, there is always still the chance that the project fails, that, I don't know, some of the employees or even management tries to run away with the money and so on. Yeah, so there's no such thing as a 100% safe bet. I mean, that's also the reason why we get a lot of interest and so on in the pools, because there is also risk involved, like with every other form of investing. And yeah, what's sad a little bit is that right now the growth of high is like not as fast as it used to be. If you remember, already at the beginning of the year or so, when they changed the rewards conditions, so that was I think in February or January, there back then they had, if I remember it right, 2.8 million users, and only, I don't know, like a very small percentage, way less than 5% actually invested in high, and the rest just signed up for the free rewards. And since then, so in less than a year, in around 6 months or 7 months, they reached 3 million users, almost 2.8 million. But now since then, if we check the last posts and updates and interviews, they're always mentioning that they are at 3 million users. Yeah, so it feels like, because high asset right now doesn't have a great use case, because we're waiting for the cards. Yes, there are the IBAN accounts right now, but why should you use it unless you plan to use it in combination with something else, or to make high your primary way of buying and selling crypto? So it feels like the growth has been slowing down. But if I look at how fast Bluetooth has now been growing with the influx from people that left Crypto.com, and I then expect or estimate that the majority of users that moved from Crypto.com to Bluetooth will relatively fast move to High.com, I think we'll have a faster growth then, and with that also again using up more of the incentive supply, and hopefully then using it completely up so we can actually see the price develop to what it's actually supposed to be. And but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, Beast, you're right, High will definitely get free marketing once the cards launch. I mean, especially if you consider that they plan to, with Crypto.com, the cards are all made out of metal and have different colors. So if you see somebody with a black Crypto.com card, you know he put up $400,000 investment. But High actually pushes it further. According to what they advertise, the highest card actually will have a real diamond on the card. I mean, it probably will be a small diamond, yeah, but I mean, who wouldn't want to show off that card, to be honest? Like, it's just going to be some of those amazing things. I mean, if you worked hard enough so you have the money to get that card, and you probably will proudly show it to your friends, you know, I mean, or be proud to show it at whatever, the hotel reception and so on, instead of using Apple Pay maybe even, so like to show off a little bit with what you earned. And then obviously people will start to ask, where the fuck did you get a card from that has an actual diamond on it? Or I mean, they might not phrase it like this, yeah, or is your card really made out of gold, or is it gold plated or whatever, yeah? So they definitely will get a ton of free marketing once the cards launch, and that's why I'm so excited about that to happen. I'm a little bit disappointed. I actually thought it might happen beginning of August. Now we're already at the end of August and we're still not there. I would start worrying about if we don't see them by the end of September. So I know, I mean, since we also have a software business and are like there, I know how my planning of, I can do this in 3 days, and then a million things come up and it takes me 3 weeks, yeah. So I know how like the delays happen, and it just adds up, especially if you then rely on third parties. So in that case, Visa and the companies that actually will produce the cards and whatnot, yeah. But yeah, so if we don't have them by end of December, I will personally start to worry a little bit. I would really start to freak out if we don't have them by the end of the year, yeah. Anyway, so with that, so we're gonna call it a day. If you want to hear from Robert, so like real last thing, so if you want to hear about another project, I would actually recommend just jump on our Discord server. There's usually a link in every video, so in the video description of every video, and there we have another channel where you can just post the name, ask. Very likely among all our members, somebody already knows the exchange and so on and can already provide you with some information. And if not, at least the name is there and I put it on my list. Although my list is like this long right now with projects that I've never heard of and had no time to look at, yeah. Yeah, if I freak out, you freak out. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant earlier, you know, with the little doubt at the back of my head. I mean, Hi has so many green flags, so not red flags, but checks so many legit boxes. So like certifications, countries of cooperation, transparency and whatnot, yeah, that there is little worry. But obviously, like every time somebody delays something, I'm worried, will it ever happen, you know, like... and the cards are really an important aspect because they will attract a lot of users. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a day now. So I'm gonna end the stream. So just have to, again, I need a new stream deck. That's so frustrating to do all of this with the mouse. So for that, I have to move this window here. And I hope you all have a pleasant day. Don't forget, on Thursday, same time, I'll have my weekly gaming stream. So you can watch me. I think it's the last mission of Hitman 3 that we are going to play. Or second to last mission, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, it would be great if you guys join. So there it's more casual talking. There you can also join if you want to talk about other projects like Pi Network and so on. Although I'm going to be focused on the game, but in between I'll do my best to answer other questions as well. And we can also have some small talk about other things, like so what you do in your spare time and other stuff that you might be interested in. But anyway, so as said, have a great day. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, till next week. Don't forget to check the community tab to vote on next week's topic as well. Bye-bye.